And once again, what is up, my fellow patriots? How are y'all doing out there in America, land of the free, home of the brave? Be the Wizard back with a new video for you. And tonight we're going to talk about Jillian Michaels. She's never going to be invited back to CNN after this. Oh boy. Boy, today these lefties melt down over on CNN. She is a Democrat, by the way, guys. So,
Into the Smithsonian, he's effectively now has some random person deciding what is appropriate for the Smithsonian to teach in terms of American history, things that don't offend parts of the MAGA base, right? So we're now literally reviewing parts of American history and parts of American culture to make sure it comports with Dear Leader and what the MAGA
Can we address some of those things that are in there? Because have you looked at some of the things that are being reviewed?
Slavery was a bad thing that was to talk about.
Okay.
Like,
he's not whitewashing slavery.
So he's not?
He's not. No,
okay.
He's not. And you cannot tie imperialism and racism and slavery to just one race, which is pretty much what every single exhibit does. But let's talk about the fact that when you look
at slavery,
let's talk about the fact.
I mean, slavery in America was.
Do you realize that only less than 2% of white Americans owned slaves?
But it was a system of white supremacy.
You realize that slavery is thousands of years old?
White people were.
So first of all, some of the very first slave owners in America were black people. So you got that. A very small amount of Americans owned slaves. And where did they come from? We didn't go kidnap them. They were sold by their own kind. The people in Africa, would hunt them down, tie them up, wait for the boats to come and sell them. So whatever. I mean, these people, every race of people has been slaves at some point in time. Just got to go back, and you'll see.
Who was the first race to try to end slavery? Well, what's controversial?
I'm very surprised.
This is an extraordinary exercise in historical revisionism.
I'm really surprised.
Sure. Do you realize that,
Jillian, I'm surprised that you're trying to litigate who.
And this chick here, she has got to be the worst interviewer on CNN ever. I mean, she doesn't know anything. She's dumb as a box of rocks. And all she does is she tries to talk over you, especially when you're making sense. Then they all chime in and are like, but Jillian Michaels wouldn't have it.
Was the beneficiary of slavery and
I'm
who
not.
was not.
What I'm trying to tell you is
in
that
the context of American history.
Okay.
In the context of American history, what are you saying is incorrect by saying that
you
it was white people oppressing black people?
Every single thing is like, oh, no, this is all because white people bad. And that's just not the truth. Like, for example, every single exhibit, I have a list of every single one. Like, people migrated from Cuba because white people bad. Not because of Castro. Yes, no, it's in there. That's what I'm saying. You don't actually know what's in there. Do you know that when you walk in the front door, the first thing you see is the gay flag?
Jillian, you have a lot of stuff done.
Yeah, I do, because here's the thing.
Are you talking about?
Okay, I'll give you an example.
Yeah, please.
There's one called Change Your Game, right? This has been an installation there. Is gender testing fair in sports? Is that, and then it goes on to talk about how it's complex to do gender testing in sports. It's not complex. It's basic science. That's untrue. It's XX chromosome, XY chromosome.
Pretty much.
That's sports. Is it fair to have biological men competing against biological women in sports? No. But why is this in the Smithsonian? So it's been completely captured.
First of all, I don't.
And it's totally partisan.
First of all, we don't have time to litigate
of
all of this.
Of course we don't, because then you're going to lose the argument. If everything is racialized, just like you're trying to do to me now. It's like, oh, I can't believe you're trying to suggest, that
just to be clear, you brought up race.
No,
this was a conversation about the arts, and you brought up race.
It isn't.
You brought up.
But the whole point of this is that the issue
you brought up slavery. And you brought up the question of whether you brought up the question of whether or not slavery in the United States is about race. The answer is yes.
I did not say
in the United States
don't straw man my argument, because that's not what I said.
So what are you
brought
talking
up
about?
Slavery, and what I was talking about is that this isn't really about that. When you make every single exhibit about white imperialism when it isn't relevant at all, that is a problem. So when you're talking about Cubans leaving Cuba and you make it about white people bad, that's not accurate.
Can I just say,
that's my point.
All right, we're going to move on.
I would say on the arts thing, I think why this
Can we move on from that? Yeah, I wonder why you want to move on from that. But it is true. I mean,
the history of slavery existed all over the world for thousands of years.
And in case you don't know who this is Thomas Sowell. He's a very, very smart dude.
Among all sorts of people, as far back as the history of the human species goes. It's one of many evils that the left tries to localize, when in fact it is a universal evil. But more than that, as much as slavery is repudiated around the world today, prior to the 18th century, I know of no serious effort to abolish the institution anywhere. Anywhere.
Not in Africa, not in the Arabian
world. Not in
world.
Africa in the 21st century.
Yeah,
when Adam Smith wrote in 1776 that the only place in the world where slavery had been abolished completely was Western Europe. And so this was
as late as the year this country was founded.
Yes. The history of slavery existed all over the world for thousands of years among all sorts of people, as far back as the history of the human species goes. It's one of many evils that the left tries to localize, when in fact it is a universal evil. But more than that, as much as slavery is repudiated around the world today, prior to the 18th century, I know of no serious effort to abolish the institution anywhere.
Yeah, that's right, because there was none. I mean, the Irish were slaves. You know, the Muslims would kidnap Europeans and make them slaves. I mean, every group of people has suffered through slavery. To make it this thing that only black people are victims and only white people are the perpetrators is just cultural Marxism. It's communism. It's nonsense. It's bullshit, right? Anyway, let me know what you think about that down in the comments. Don't forget to sub up, subscribe, share my video far and wide, and let's make America great again. Till next time, peace out, my fellow patriots. Peace.